project was meant that we should be able to take whatever we are learning, that's the indigenous technology, from our labs or from the environment to get to the girls, so the girls will be able to love science and then to reduce the gender gap.
Our culture is such that the girl child is always marginalized. And we admit also that education is the key to our breakthrough, to our development, to everything. Therefore, if we are able to train these girls in science, we are able to educate them well, then we can be sure that educating one girl child will educate a whole family, and this will lead to economic development and everything else that we need.
So this is something that I want, and it is part of the Alumni Community Engagement Fund, that we try to look at small funds and then have a big impact. The big impact is that we are looking at 100 girls and we will be able to teach this or train 20 teachers. And when we look at the teachers, we're looking at science, mathematics, engineering, technical teachers in 5 selected schools. And then we took 20 girls from each school, making a total of 100. And just mentoring them, these girls will form clubs, and in one way or the other, we'll also be able to mentor their peers in the schools, and they'll be able to educate their community about the importance and various aspects of science in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the farm, and then they'll be able to link science to real life concepts.
We started this program by mentoring the teachers in 5 rural communities who are into STEM. STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We organized a workshop for them to mentor them on gender responsive pedagogies to use in the classroom to make the teaching of science interesting, and that will promote the participation of girls. We also had the STEM coordinator and the girl child facilitator of the Ghana Education Service, Effutu municipality, among those that were trained. We proceeded with a mentorship for the girls in their various schools, telling them about science and the need to pursue science, making them know that science is not for boys only, but they equally can also do science and do it effectively.
Female lecturers in the Faculty of Science went out to meet teachers, where they took teachers through a series of activities to train them, to give them exposure into teaching science, such that it becomes friendly and then involve females.
So when you involve the teachers, then you are expecting the teachers, or want to train the teachers, mentor the teachers, so that they will also have the capabilities to be able to train the younger ones, to develop them to join the STEM courses, because you realize that at whichever level you actually take, right from the secondary school where they select their courses, the number of the girls in the sciences is always low.
Right from birth, girls are trained to be scientists from the home, and that is what we want to establish. They are scientists from the home, and it shouldn't end there. They should be able to pursue the science to the highest level by creating or by letting the girls know that indeed whatever they used to do from the beginning is science. If you create that awareness, they will not be afraid of science.
Learn that science is not for only boys, it's for a young girl child. Therefore, I, the science teacher, should give opportunity to the young girl child to study the science.
For instance, most of the topics, or during the teaching of science and mathematics, mostly examples given are male-centered. For instance, talking about playing of cards while teaching mathematics. But we're of the view that they could involve a lot of activities, especially activities at home, to include females actively in their class. For instance, when we talk about food preservation, the females are always involved in doing that. Their parents bring fish from home, from the shore, where they smoke the fish, they grill. All these are activities that involve females.
We should look at it as the right of the girl child and not just a privilege. We should look at it in terms of access, and we should look at it in terms of quality. And we can do this when teachers teach with a responsive gender pedagogy. That is, they look at the needs of the girl child and the needs of the boy child in teaching. When they are selecting teaching and learning materials, what will make children fancy learning and what will make boys or girls also fancy learning. All these things are taken when they are preparing teaching and learning materials.
Concepts that they learn in school, we wanted to bridge that gap for them to do away with that notion that science is abstract.
So we had a concept that was looked at based on Gary processing. We also looked at one that was on palm oil production, local detergents or cleansing agents. We also looked at local preservation method.
For instance, smoking of fish is an example. Grilling of fish, freezing of fish are all examples of food preservation. And so they are the ones who are actually involved in the act, not the males.
So these girls from the various schools were put into groups, mentored by their STEM teachers, and then they brought out whatever they
started the training sessions for about a week, 2 weeks ago. On the 1st, we had a community sensitization through radio. We went to the schools and we engaged 20 STEM teachers to see how they can use indigenous technology in teaching these science students and then giving these rural girls some basic skills. These girls are here, they don't actually have mentors and they feel that they cannot do STEM. But through this training, the teachers have seen the gap that exists for them to fill. And this gap is about the gender.
The teaching of science can be achieved through linking these STEM-related areas to whatever the girl child does in the house.
So what's the difference between you tell us? Gary cookies. Okay. All right. So we have Gary with margarine. Wow, innovation. Then Gary with margarine. Yeah. Wow.
It's a preservative.
Okay. So tell us briefly the process. So why did you have to put it in the sack and then put the stone in the first place? Why didn't you use the cassava? To increase the surface area. Wow.
But I'm waiting the cassava will increase the surface area.
How? I don't understand. Okay, so you have the lamp cassava, but when you grate it, so it means that when you have something that is lamp and you reduce the particles, you are increasing the surface area. This is wonderful. Why should the surface area be increased?
Madam, so that see we have 20.
Okay, good. But you know, when you also increase the surface area, you can be able to compact the particles so close together so that it will force much of the water out of the particles. Then you put the stone on it. So when you're putting the stone on it, what are you applying? Pressure. Very good. So you learned a lot of scientific concepts, right? Now, when you were grating, what scientific concept was there? Friction. Oh, that is one. There is another one. You were forcing the cassava through some small holes. So what were you doing again? Apart from friction, what else? You were using the cassava. Force. So you also apply some pressure, and then when you apply the pressure, the cassava is forced through the small holes. So you can even define pressure in terms of that.